I'd like to welcome you here inside of LeRoy Hayes Field in Thermopolis, Wyoming, home of the Bobcats. We got the camera on the tunnel, and here come your Thermopolis Bobcats. And the Hot Springs County Volunteer Fire Department also helping out with some of the festivities here as well. Hello and welcome inside of LeRoy Hayes Field. Here it's Varsity Football on Two Basins Sports Network, the voice of the Bobcats. We were sick last week and we got rained out during rivalry week, but we're finally back here at LeRoy Hayes Field. And so with that, the Lovell Bulldogs taking on the Thermopolis Bobcats today. Both of these teams coming into this game ranked the third best team. It's actually a tie for the third best team in all of Class 2A football. Today is hoping to be a bit of a tiebreaker on that front. So with that being said, we're going to try to get our Zoom back here. So with that being said, Bulldogs coming into this game, we said this on our Facebook page earlier today, but Bulldogs coming into this game with a 1-2 record, Lovell losing to both Bighorn and Mountain View. The Bulldogs ended up beating the Lyman Eagles last weekend 25-22. That was a very close game for the Bulldogs. They're hoping to move that win streak up to 2 to try and improve their chances here on the season. The Bulldogs were able to beat the Bobcats last season in Lovell. I know they put up 42 on the Bobcats during that game. So with that being said, the Bulldog, this is, like we said, a very important game. This is probably a game that the entire state of Wyoming has their eyes on, and it's for good reason too. Bobcats' second home game of the season. They're coming off a win against the Kemmerer Rangers. And we'll be right back after the anthems and starting lineups in just a moment. I'd like to welcome you back here inside of LeRoy Hayes Field, home of the Bobcats. Number 3 ranked Lovell Bulldogs taking on the number 3 ranked Thermopolis Bobcats, a tie in the WyoPreps power rankings for 2A. And the Bobcats, for the first time in a long time, I'd say 2013, this is their best chance to make a run to the state championship in Laramie, and that is something I never thought I'd be able to say for another 10 years or so. But these guys are starting to find the groove a little bit. A 3-0 start. Now that could just as easily be derailed as they started, but especially with a bit of a tough stretch of games coming up, they got Lovell. I was going to say Cokeville, but they're actually 0-3 to start the season. I thought they would be a lot better, as they actually made the state championship game last year, lost to Bighorn. But the Bobcats back on topic here. Bobcats have this game against Lovell, a top 3 team, and then they also got Mountain View, and then they'll end the season with Pinedale, who has just completely out of nowhere. Pinedale has gone on an amazing run. They're also 3-0 to start the season. So Pinedale will be here for the Pink Out game on senior night, and I do believe we will be in Grable for middle school basketball that night, so good luck to the Bobcats during that game. But the easier part of the schedule is now over. You got your Kemmerer out of the way. You got your Tongue River out of the way. Now the real deal starts, right? This is the tough part of the schedule as we get to the end of the 2025 season with 4 games left following this game. So, and it's looking like this. Next week they're going to take on Cokeville on the road. Again, Cokeville 0-3, coming off a loss to Mountain View. So that game not quite as difficult for the Bobcats, hopefully, as I thought. But after that next week they got Mountain View in Mountain View. Then they got Lyman here at home for homecoming, and then Pinedale on senior night. So a couple of good challenges coming up for the Bobcats here over the next couple of weeks, and we'll be here for most of them. We will not be in Cokeville, though, due to the size of the stadium. Cokeville just does not have enough room to accommodate both us, the radio station here in Thermop and us. So, again, we'll be following second place to the radio station, go figure. But we will be in Mountain View that following week, and then we'll be back here for the game against Lyman. That'll most likely be our last football broadcast of the year, as we will be following the middle schoolers. They'll be up in Grable that night as the Bobcats take on Pinedale here at LeRoy Hayes Field. So we also wish good luck to the volleyball teams that weekend. I believe they'll be taking on Rocky that night. So speaking of volleyball, we got some varsity volleyball coming for you tomorrow, as well as JV and freshmen, as the Thermopolis Bobcats welcome the Grable Lady Buffs to town. Coverage will start at, I think it's scheduled for noon, but just check both the district website and the upcoming live streams tab on our YouTube channel for more information on start times. So with that being said, we are just moments away from kickoff here. The captains at midfield for the coin toss. That's going to wrap up our pregame stuff here. We are going to be starting in about 3 minutes time here from LeRoy Hayes Field. Game 2 here at home here in week 4 of the high school football season. We'll be right back from LeRoy Hayes Field in just a moment. Talking you back here, just over 60 seconds away from kickoff here in week 4. We'd like to welcome here on TBSN, home of the Bobcat, or the voice of the Bobcats here. First quarter about ready to get underway. Kickoff from LeRoy Hayes Field. And of course, let's take a look at some of your keys to the game here. as we get ready to start week 4 of the fresh season. This is going to be pretty simple. Effective blocking. Make sure that the offensive lineman needs to do their jobs. There's been a lot of plays that have been stifled this season because of lapses in blocking. So Bridger Pyle, Nolan Collins, Zach Hasty, they can't really do much if Cannon Bourne is running for his life. So the O-line has to hit their blocks here and also limit the penalties. Bobcats have been shooting themselves in the foot time and time again with penalties this season. It's taken a lot more points off the board than they probably would like. So limiting those penalties today is going to be a huge thing. Discipline is a must in the sport of football. And then finally stop the run. Lovell is a run-heavy team. They used to be a pretty pass-heavy team over the years, but that's kind of changed. Their philosophy has changed here in 2025. Even then, not a very good running team, so stopping that run will be crucial today. We are underway from LeRoy Hayesfield. Lovell back to return the kick. They'll go to the near side, and the crowd erupts. I think there was a fumble. And we're going to wait on what the press box has to say here, but and so with that, the the press box is having a couple of microphone issues today. So, but it doesn't look like there was a fumble. I think it just kind of got back. Maybe there was, and Lovell just recovered it. And so with that, first drive here for Lovell. It'll be a run up the far side. He'll break through for some yards, and he'll be brought down for a gain on the play, about 3 or so. Brings up second and 5 for the Bulldogs. So from that angle, it looked a little bit less than it was, but. So, and they're crediting Bourne with the tackle. Apologize here, we're having some issues. So anyway, we just zoomed in our camera. Hopefully that's a little bit better for y'all on the live stream. But with that, taking the snap, it'll be a handoff. It'll be a misdirection up the far side. He's going to try to get to the 6, and I think that might be a Lovell first down, just barely. And a pretty decent-sized crowd here for both Lovell and Thermopolis. The student section has showed up and showed out. So awesome job seeing these guys here. 11 minutes on the board here. We've gotten through our first minute of this quarter. The battle of the number 3s in Class 2A. This game will hopefully help settle the Wild Preps rankings just a little bit. Lovell coming in looking for their second win on the season. They came in 1-2 with losses to Bighorn and Mountain View. They beat Lyman last week. They actually beat Buffalo in their Week 0 contest. It'll be a pass to the far side. It's caught. He'll get toward the stick, still on his feet, breaks a tackle, and he'll finally be brought down past the 40-yard line. That was trying to see who that was, number 4 on the play there on the catch. Sorry, check that. I think it was actually Matthew Newman. Matthew Newman will be one of our players to watch tonight for Lovell. He is currently their best receiver there for Lovell. He's actually listed as a running back on the roster. That's the crazy thing. But Lovell's been kind of using him on those screen passes all season. He has gotten himself up there in the receiving yards on the WyoPrep stats. Takes the snap and a handoff to the far side, and he'll run through. Lowers the shoulder. He'll get on for a couple more extra yards there. Got about 2nd and 4 coming up. And Lovell just coming out the gate here, playing some smash mouth football, and the Bobcats will call a timeout. And so we'll be right back in just a moment. You are watching Bobcat football on Two Basins Sports Network, the voice of the Bobcats. Still scoreless here through the first 2 minutes of this game. We'll be back from LeRoy Hayesfield. Bobcats out of the timeout. We'd like to welcome you back inside of LeRoy Hayes Field, home of the Bobcats. Week 4, second home game of the season for the Bobcats, and their last home game until they have to take on Cokeville on the road next weekend. We hope you're having a great day here from LeRoy Hayes Field. A bit of a late start here as a 7 p.m. start. latest of the season so far. It'll be a run up to the far side. Should be a first down there for the Bulldogs. Didn't see who it was on the carry. So that'll be another Bulldog first down, but not as many yards as they've been getting tonight. The Bobcats, we said this at the top of the show, their main thing here is going to be to stop the run. Lovell has been struggling on all facets of offense. They've had barely a top 10 offense this season, quite frankly. But and the run, I think they have what were they ranked again on the Wild Preps sheet? I thought it was 7th for run offense, or rushing offense, same difference. But 1st and 10 here, the Bobcats have had actually a top 3 run defense in the state of Wyoming, so kind of shocking to see a struggle this early on. It'll be a run up to the far side. A spin move, and he'll get out of it. I think this is trying to see who it was there. That's what I thought. It is Cash Wasmer on the carry. So with that, 1st and 10 for the Bulldogs. They're going to be into the red zone here. We apologize about the student section blocking our camera view. They actually installed a power switch on the other side of the press box, so we might actually be in a different spot for the middle school game on Monday. And a false start on the Bulldogs is what they call it. They called that one pretty immediately there, and that will send them back just a little bit. 1st and 15. So they're going to be starting from six-man range here. And that's the kind of thing the Bobcats need. We also said that they needed to control their penalties. No penalties yet on the Bobcats, but only time will tell. Instead, Lovell drawing first blood with the dish towels today. And here comes Lovell. They got a couple of receivers. It's kind of bunched up a little bit here. Running up to the far side. A big stop for the Bobcats, and that's a loss of about a yard. 2nd down coming up for Lovell. We've said this multiple times, but it's kind of been a pattern with the Bobcats. They struggle when the opposing offense is on the opposing side of the field. But once they break into Bobcat territory, closer and closer to the red zone, the Bobcat defense really starts clamping up. So expect the linebackers and the D-line to really fire up here. There's a bit of a scary situation in Worland those first half with the defense. When we were there, he'll hail it deep, wide open, and he has caught it. Touchdown, Lovell, and that is Owen Walker on the catch. Someone needs to tell the press box that the thing is cutting out, because that's actually getting on my nerves a little bit. But hey, with 8:31 to go, and Lovell with first blood. Oh, wrong one there. So Lovell will attempt the PAT, and we've noticed, Lovell, I think they might have switched things up from what we saw, because like we said earlier, their passing offense hasn't really been that great over the course of the season. They finally find a stride there. They will score a touchdown. The first touchdown of the game is a passing one. That one is up and no good. The score will stay 6-0. Lovell draws first blood here at LeRoy Hayes Field. We'll be right back here in just a moment. Here in Hot Springs County, the Bobcats' second home game of the year against a very tough opponent here, the Battle of the Threes. And, the Bobcats already upset one Lovell team. I think they can do it again. We'll be right back from inside of LeRoy Hayes Field in just a moment. I'd like to welcome you back here inside of LeRoy Hayes Field, home of the Bobcats, as the student section going along with the cheerleaders here. An electric atmosphere here in the second home game of the year. 2 of 4 home games this season, pretty evenly split among away and home. Bobcats have already completed half of their away schedule. They got Cokeville and Mountain View coming up. Those will be on the road. And then the final couple of games will be at home against both Lyman and Pinedale. Lyman, of course, falling to Lovell this past weekend. And Lyman also, quite frankly, not having the best season either. They didn't have a great season last year, didn't make the playoffs. And we know Lyman kind of has been a juggernaut the late teens, early 20s. Just not anymore. Lovell's been in the same boat. They've dominated the first half of the 2020s. And this one is away. And into the back of the end zone it will go as they tried to chase it down. I think that was Nolan Collins that it was supposed to go to there.
Ball goes out of the end zone for a touchback. First and 10, Bobcats from their own 20-yard line.
So the Bobcats will set up on the 20. What little I can make out from the press box there. Lights are on, and like we said, it's a late start. Lovell's a little bit closer compared to the other 2A schools that the Bobcats have to face. So, you know, a bit of a later start under the lights. It's nothing better. They call it Friday Night Lights for a very good reason. Next couple of games that they have will be in the broad daylight, though, against Mountain View and Cokeville. And a handoff up the middle, just a quick handoff, and he's going to be finally brought down. About a gain of 6 on the play. Now, the Bobcat offense has been kind of the struggling point, I feel like, this season. They have not been able to put a lot of points on the board, but they haven't needed to. The defense has been there to make stops when needed, and it shows in the Wild Prep standings. A top 5 overall, actually the second best overall defense in 2A, according to Wild Prep statistics. Ooh, look, a little bit of a jump there on the far side. It'll be a quick handoff to the near side. Trying to see who it was. I think the tackle, though, we definitely saw that was made by Kyson Crosby. So here come the Bobcats, going to try this one again. 3rd down and 1. Bobcats have been really good and really efficient at making 3rd down conversions. Let's see if they can do it here on their first drive. Takes the snap. It'll be a quick handoff here. It's like a fullback dive up the left side. And they're going to just stop the ball there. And it looks like a bit of different play calling from when we were last on the microphone in Tongue River. And when we were in person at Warrior Stadium, at least for half of the game, against the Warriors, you know, kind of switching up a little bit. They're going for more of those middle runs. They tried to bounce it out to the outside during the Tongue River and the Worland games, but I don't know about Kemmer, obviously. And it looks like they're going to go with that wing T here or something kind of similar to it. And he's brought down immediately, Cannonborn, as they kind of let one through. Number 32 in on the tackle. That is Brandon Jasso, the defensive end, the 5'10" junior. And that is big for the Bulldogs. And we knew, and we kind of expected, we knew that Lovell's defense was going to be a little bit smash mouth here. You know, with the kind of, that they've held all their opponents to less than 25 points all season. And here they go up to the near side. A big run for the Bobcats that should bring up 3rd down. Like we said on the last set of downs, it's kind of been the Bobcats' bread and butter on these 3rd down conversions. And let's see what they want to try to go with the play call here. Looks like it'll probably be 3rd and 5. In that case, a 7-yard pickup on the carry by Pyle. Bridger Pyle, we already have sung our – no, we haven't yet, actually. But Pyle, one of the best runners in 2A football. And a pitch to the outside to Hasty. He'll fall just a little bit there. Got knocked once and then brought down to the ground on a shoestring. So Zach Hasty getting a carry there. Listed as – he's a kind of an inverse of the Lovell running back. He is listed as a wide receiver but runs the ball. Lovell's running back gets the receptions. So kind of a tale of two teams. But 4th down and 3 coming up for the Bobcats. They will opt to punt it away and just cut their losses. Takes the snap, and he will punt it to the far side. Tries to keep it there. A bit of an awkward bounce on the ball. And they will opt to just down it there toward the far side. About the 27-yard line is where it will be brought to. And Bobcats will get their offensive personnel out onto the field. 5:16 to go in the opening quarter here from LeRoy Hayes Field.
Punt is down at the Bulldogs 27-yard line.
Yep, 27-yard line. Press box just confirmed it up there. And they're doing renovations to this press box. They've been doing that all summer. And it's actually really starting to come together. Don't know why they chose white for the press box, but anyway. But with that, you're probably bound to see some electrical mishaps with the construction. At least they're not done with it yet. So the speaker's not working is probably the least of their concerns. Takes the snap. It'll be a run up to the far side, and he'll be brought down. And Lovell, what I'm noticing a huge pattern here with the Bulldogs. They're getting yards off of those second or third hits. They're not going down on the first hit. Bobcats have got to better wrap up, try to end that play early, because Lovell's offense has just kind of been useless before that initial contact. So maybe that's just a weird thing to notice, but usually they'll bounce off once, then they'll bounce off a second time and a third time, then they'll finally go down. Bobcats have got to limit that. Zach Hasty lined up on the corner position here. Takes the snap. It'll be a run to the outside. He tries the fake, and that is going to be – oh, there's a fumble. Bobcats say they have it. And it looks like they do. The Bobcats are going to get this one back. And that is a huge stop for the purple and gold. There was a kind of we thought there was a fumble on the kickoff return just 6 minutes ago. Bobcats weren't able to recover that if that was the case, but now they will finally make a big play there. That is a huge one. Bobcats, however, a bit, and this is kind of a carryover as well from the Matt McPhee era. They have a lot of trouble scoring in the red zone, so let's see what they can do here on this drive. 1st and 10, ball on the 29-yard line. Very good field position. And a rugby scrum on the far side. That'll bring up 2nd down. It was either Pyle or Hasty on the carry. And it was actually Zach Hasty, so I guess the press box has a better eye than I do. Under the lights here, as this is the earliest I think I've seen a Bobcat game go under the lights in a couple of years. Takes the snap. It'll be a handoff up the far side. And the Bobcats are doing a fantastic job wearing down the Bulldog interior. And it's evidence there as they will get a 3rd down. Ooh, that's a very close call. That is the 2nd time the Bobcats have been caught on 3rd and 1 in this game. And that's a pretty easy conversion here. If they can get the right blocks, it should be no problem here for that 1st down. So let's see what they got. Bobcats lined up, 2 men in 3-point stance behind the quarterback. Takes the snap. It'll be a fake handoff. Bourne will take it himself. That should be a 1st down and much more. And that is, in fact, going to be marked down close to the 10, I think, is what they got it. And that's another Bobcat 1st down. Oh, shoot. I am so sorry about that. Good Lord. Fumble, actually, for Lovell. Again, I apologize. I thought I saw Bourne run it toward the near side, get the 1st down, and was more so paying attention to the chain gang over there, trying to see where they spotted it, but a fumble as Bourne coughed it up. Lovell will get the 1st and 10 here, so I apologize for that. 3:31 here. Maybe I'm proving why the radio station deserves the press box over me, so, you know. Anyway, takes the snap. 3rd drive of the night for Lovell on the carry, and he's brought down by a pride of Bobcats. The run by Matthew Newman, the 5'8" senior. Like we said earlier, we gave Matthew his credit during our pregame article this morning. You know, Matthew Newman has been kind of carrying this Bulldog offense for the most part this season. He leads the team in receiving yards. Also, obviously, a really good Swiss Army knife, a good receiver and running back. 3 minutes to go in the opening quarter. Takes the snap. It'll be a run to the outside, and it will be a rugby scrum down there on the far side. He'll be marked down for a very short gain on the play. 3rd down, and it looks like it should be 4 coming up here for the Bulldogs. So here we go, 2:30 to go. Bobcats, after that initial drive, are doing a much better job here on the defensive side of the ball. They know, I think Bowker's getting in their ear there just a little bit. They're like, hey, we've been looking over film. We know that they're going to run at X spot, at X part of the down. I think they kind of know at this point. But a penalty on the play here, and it looks like it might be offside. And if it is, that will be a 1st down. Yep, and that is going to be a 1st down for the Bulldogs off the offside call for the Bobcats. So that should put them at about the, I want to say, the 23-yard line. Here comes Lovell out of the huddle. Yeah, that rhymes. 2 minutes to go in the opening quarter. Takes the snap. It'll be a run to the near side. And he'll be piled on. I believe the run there will by Matthew Newman. So kind of playing at his regular position here. Listed as a snapback and a running back. A snapback's more of like a 6-man thing, but sure, Lovell, whatever. 90 seconds to go in the opening quarter here. 2nd and 8 coming up for Lovell. Got the 1st down off the Bobcat offside. Lovell coming out of the huddle. This is their 3rd offensive series, by the way. They fumbled the ball in this part of the field on their last play. Got it back via a fumble by Boren. Takes the snap. It'll be their first pass play in a while. Throws it over the middle, and it's caught. This is going to be a bit of a short yardage type of situation there. And he does get about a gain of 3 on the play, 3rd down. Couldn't see who the receiver was. And they're going to say that it was, Cash Wassemer, the senior.
On the tackle for the Bobcats. Brings up a 3rd down and 3.
So 3rd and 3 is the official call on the field here. Bobcats the only one to have used a timeout here so far tonight. And that timeout's left indicator on the new scoreboard is really, maybe it's cheating, but it's really helping me out a little bit here. That's why I'm excited to go to Powell for volleyball in a couple of weeks, because they got the stat panel. That'll really be helpful. It'll be a run up the middle. They're going to try and bully their way through for the 1st down, and it looks like they'll give it to them here. So that's another, I'm going to hold off. Yep, that's another Bulldog 1st down. And big crowd here at LeRoy Hayes Field. I can't really vouch for the north end of the field, but the south end starting to fill up pretty quickly here. 5-4, looks like Lovell will let it go. 3, 2, 1. That's the end of the 1st quarter.
And that's the end of our 1st quarter.
And so with that, Lovell up 6-0 off a rushing touchdown. And that'll take us through the first 12 minutes of action here from LeRoy Hayes Field. Class 2A West football returns on Two Basins Sports Network after the quick break. And we'll be back in less than a minute for the start of quarter number 2. Lovell leads 6-0. We'll be back in just a moment. We'd like to welcome you back inside of LeRoy Hayes Field, home of the Bobcats. Second quarter about ready to get started here. The Lovell Bulldogs up 6-0 over the Bobcats. And so far, a decent defensive showing for the Bobcats so far. Bobcats have really, I think they've started latching on to Lovell's game plan here. They're getting a little bit better as the game progresses. The Bobcats have been kind of the cardiac cats all year. They've won all but one of their games by one score or so. Takes the snap to the far side, and it's caught. Should be second down here, and I believe the catch was by who else but Matthew Newman. Looks like actually they might have ruled that incomplete.
That was from Crosby to Newman, falls incomplete. Brings out the second down and 10.
So with that 2nd and 10 coming up, clock will stop off the incompletion. 11:55 to go in case you're just tuning in. Second quarter of action and a bit of a not too cold but not too warm night here in Thermop. Got a couple of people here that chose to wear sweaters today, so cowards. I'm just joking. And it'll be a pass play here. He'll roll out to the right side, and that is a bit of a 50-50 ball. And I think they're trying, and we've got a couple of coaches that said it was intercepted. The student section's hoping it too. And it looks like they're going to call, I think they're going to call first down here. It was a good play there on the far side, a reception by the Bulldogs. So that was it was Owen Walker on the catch. So great play. He was kind of under a lot of pressure by the Bobcat D-line. He had to roll out to the far side and made a play off his back foot and results in a first down. They're going to try it again. Tries to dump it off middle side. It's caught, and he'll try to dance his way around. Goes to the middle. Now near side. He's got room. Down to the 40. Near side 30 being chased down and wrapped up and taken down. And the play made by Matthew Newman for the Bulldogs. We told you multiple times this kid is a threat, and he just wasn't doing anything super flashy. He's just trying to juke out the Bobcats. He looked like a 4-year-old taking dance lessons there, but he is able to get the first down and a whole lot more. Actually, a red zone alert for the Lovell Bulldogs. And Lovell going out in a pass-heavy set here. And a timeout called for the Bulldogs, so we're going to step aside real quick, and we'll take a quick break as the Bulldogs use their first of 3. We'll be back 11:09 to go here in the second quarter. You're watching Bobcat football on Two Basins Sports Network, the voice of the Bobcats. I'd like to welcome you back inside of LeRoy Hayes Field, home of the Bobcats. It is currently 1st and 10, ball on the 19-yard line. A red zone alert for the Lovell Bulldogs. Hope you're tuning in, or hope you're having a great night here, and tuning in with us here on Two Basins Sports Network, the voice of the Bobcats. Takes the snap from shotgun. It'll be a pass. Goes far side. Goes up for the grab, and he's going to haul it in. Even better tackle there on the far side for the Bobcats. The catch made by Matthew Newman for the Bulldogs. And it'll bring up second down, and I want to say 8 for the Bulldogs. It's hard to tell from this angle. And the scoreboard says 17 on the yard marker, so I'm going to assume it was a 2-yard pickup there. So a great catch there, hauled in by Newman. I want to say it was either Hasty or Collins on the tackle. That's a couple of 50-50 balls that have gone Lovell's way tonight. Drops back for the pass. He'll look to throw over the middle and wide open. Touchdown, Bulldogs.
Touchdown, Bulldogs.
And they can't leave him open like that. That was Owen Walker in on the catch.
7-yard touchdown pass from Crosby to Walker.
Yeah, Walker was just wide open. He was so wide open I could see his jersey number there. Just not a great defensive play there for Thermop. They've not had the greatest pass defense, though, in 2A. I think they're ranked something like, God, they're pretty far down the WyoPreps rankings. Takes the snap for the kick, and it's up and no good. That is the second extra point that Lovell has missed tonight. And so with that is going to conclude that drive pretty quickly. 12-0 is your score. Lovell on top, trying to keep their win streak against the Bobcats going. We'll be back from LeRoy Hayes Field just a moment. I'd like to welcome you back here inside of LeRoy Hayes Field, home of the Bobcats, Lovell Bulldogs and Thermopolis Bobcats in some 2A West action as Thermopolis trying to stay undefeated. And frankly, the Bobcats have been kind of a second-half team all season, with the exception of the Kemmerer game. They got up to a quick and early lead against the Rangers last week and never looked back, but past couple of weeks against Warland and Tongue River, they kind of been a second-half team. So they're going to need to make some pretty big adjustments in the locker room here. It's not as bad as it probably could be. Bobcat defense has been making some good stops tonight, but a couple of lapses in coverage on the pass plays is definitely not a good thing. It'll be a return down from the far side. He'll try to transition over to the numbers, still on his feet, and wrestle down near the camera out toward where the track's start-finish line is. That is going to be 1st and 10 coming up for the Bobcats on their third. I believe this is either their third or their fourth offensive series of the night. And the Bobcats have to score on this drive to get some momentum going. And it's been a really rough night offensively. Cannon Boren fumbled the ball inside the red zone on the Bobcats' last possession. That definitely took 6 off the board. I think the Bobcats probably could have scored on that drive. It'll be a run up the near side. He's got daylight. He's going to get by near side. Still on his feet. And he'll be brought down close. No, he's still going. And he'll get by the 40. That's another Bobcat first down. Bridger Pyle, the man with a plan. He gets into Lovell territory like he's been doing all season. And the Bobcats pretty deep into the field. They get into Lovell territory on one play. And I said this at the top of the broadcast, if they get some good blocks and create some good holes there, it's going to be a long night for the Bulldogs. And that's exactly what happened. And to make things worse, that is offside on the Bulldogs. The defensive end on the far side jumped on that one, and that is going to move them up 5. Bobcats have to keep this momentum going, and that is a timeout. And Lovell will try to stop that momentum best they can. Their second timeout of the half. We'll be right back from inside of LeRoy Hayes Field in Thermopolis, Wyoming. 14 miles north of Shoshone, up through Boise, up through the canyon. The Lovell Bulldogs trying to get a win on the road here, but the Bobcats try to throw a wrench into that plan. We'll be back from LeRoy Hayes Field in just a moment. Back to welcome you back here inside of LeRoy Hayes Field, home of the Bobcats, week 4, as the Bobcats try to extend their win streak to 4. Currently coming into this game 3-0, the Bulldogs 1-2 with losses to Bighorn and Mountain View, 2 really good teams in Class 2A. Hand off up the near side and brought down pretty quickly, but not quick enough, I don't think, for the Bulldogs. I think that was Bridger Pyle in on the carry. And good Lord, who gave the student section the milk jugs? Not that I'm complaining, though. Oh, it's better. When I was up in Canada, the student section for Rosetown they actually brought like actual air horns. So it's better than, and also one guy brought a megaphone. So it's better than the air horn, I guess. At far side, here they go. And still going. That's Cannon Boren up inside the 20, now into the 10 or 15. And that's another Bobcat first down. Or sorry. Well, I saw a 6, but whatever. They're saying Bridger Pyle.
Crosby on the tackle. Brings up another Bobcat. First and 10.
And so with that, 1st and 10 with 9 minutes to go. Ball on the 15-yard line. Bobcats were in this position on their last drive. Cannon Boren coughed up the ball. So let's see if they can finish this one here. Get some points on the board, much needed points. Sends a man in motion, goes in behind the halfback. He'll take the handoff, fake handoff. Boren will keep it. And he is brought down on the play there by Matthew Newman.
Boren on the carry for the Bobcats. Matthew Newman.
And Newman's just kind of been doing 2 things at once tonight, or 3 things. He's a receiver, he's a running back, and he's also their linebacker. So he's just kind of been a Swiss Army knife, and we kind of expected that coming into this game. We saw where he was on the receiving yards on the Wild Prep stats, and we're like, okay, this guy's going to be trouble, and he has been trouble tonight. Sends a man in motion. It's Hasty. Takes the snap and a hand off to the near side. It's Pyle with it. Driving to the 5-yard line. He'll be stopped by a pack of Bulldogs. 3rd down and not much to go at all. 3rd and 1. Could probably barely slide a credit card between the line of scrimmage marker and the first down marker. Here come the Bobcats coming out of the huddle. 7:30 to go. Double wing set for the Bobcats. Takes the snap. Up the middle they go, and he's still driving. Near side, still on his feet, and finally brought down by a pack of Bulldogs. It was Bridger Pyle on the carry. Couldn't see who made the tackle, though, for Lovell. I think it might have been number 26, Cash Wassemer, the strong safety and outside linebacker. So that is enough for the first down. Bobcats weren't exactly worried about scoring on that possession. They did want to try to go for that first. They have 1st and goal now, a little bit more to work with. And that's going to make things a little bit more troublesome for the Bulldogs. Double wing again here. Or wing T. Takes the snap and a handoff up the middle to bleed to Pyle, and he is going to be marked just short of the goal line. So Pyle again.
Number 75 for the Bulldogs on the tackle.
So number 75, that is not on the roster. Still going with that same formation here for the Bobcats. Takes the snap, and they're going to go quickly up the gut. And he is in! Touchdown, Bobcats! And that is Pyle credited with the carry. And that is another one to add to his record here this season. Pyle is just kind of, you can't exactly overstate how valuable he is to the Bobcat run game. And now here they go. They're going to try and take the PAT. Cannon Boren in on the hold. Bobcats have been kind of hit or miss with their PATs this season. Let's see where this one goes. This one is up. And unlike the Bulldogs, the Bobcats can actually get the PAT in this game. So that's going to draw them a little bit closer here as it is now a one-score game. The Bobcats can score, and they don't even have to make the PAT. They could intentionally shank it to the left, and they'd still have the lead. So, but that is we're talking future drives. They have to stop the Bulldogs on this drive first. We'll be right back from LeRoy Hayes Field in just a moment. The battle of the number threes here, the Bobcats and the Bulldogs. We'll be back from LeRoy Hayes Field in just a moment. Bulldogs about ready to return the kick here. We're back from inside of LeRoy Hayes Field in Thermopolis, Wyoming. Thermopolis Bobcats looking to extend their record to 4-0 on the year, but they got to get by a team that has been a constant brick wall for them over the years, the Lovell Bulldogs. Can't remember the last time the Bobcats actually beat Lovell. I know it was a blowout last time the Bulldogs came to town. That was over 3 years ago. And the kick, and it's going to be an onside kick to the near side. Did he get it? At midfield regardless. And I think they came up with it. What a gutsy play call by Boone Bowker. And they will recover it. 6:20 to go in the second. Tack. Let's just go for the onside kick, and by God, it works. I have criticized Bowker's play calling in the past in 2023 and 2024, and I kind of had my criticisms about him going for it on 3rd and long a couple of weeks back, but that was a gutsy play call, and it worked out just fine. They're going to try and go up the near side, and a good stop for the Bulldogs. Zach Hasty in on the carry.
The ball carrier tripped up in the backfield.
That is, I know I keep saying this and it never happens, but that's going to go up on the highlight reel later tonight. What a onside kick. Has a pretty low success rate, but I guess in high school football, it works for 6-man teams. Why wouldn't it work for an 11-man team? Takes the snap, goes to the near side. Big run. Go! He's going to run over him! What a hit! And that should be enough for the first down. Number 40, the poor victim there for Lovell. And he just did not care. He lowered his butt. He just stood there and just ran completely over. I saw that one coming. I don't know why he just stopped there and didn't go up for the tackle. But what a play there. He just kept on going and got a couple of yards. That's another Bobcat first down. They'll take the snap, fake handoff, and he'll get swallowed up, so the Bulldogs will get their revenge on the play there. The Bulldogs were like, you're not going to run over my CB and get away with it. Or linebacker, my bad. 2nd down and 12, ball on the 37-yard line. And this is must-watch television. The Bulldogs and the Bobcats, these two tied in WyoPrep's rankings, that's just the power rankings. Bobcats sitting 3rd in 2A East among 2 other undefeated teams, Mountain View and Pinedale. Takes the snap. It'll be a handoff up the gut to Bridger Pyle. He's still on his feet. He'll be brought down to the sticks here. So 3rd and 10, maybe 3rd and 9 coming up. Student section fired up here in Thermopolis, and looks like they brought the whole dang school out to LeRoy Hayes Field tonight. Student section's always been great. I always contend that Thermopolis has one of the best student sections in Wyoming for its size. And on the 3 count here, they'll take the snap, and it'll be a run to the near side. Doesn't really go there. I think they probably would have got more yards had Boren kept it on the play. The read option does not work out there for Thermop. It'll bring up 4th down and 9. Still got some yards out of it, but I don't know. If I'm Bowker, do I try to go for it or I punt it back, try and hope for a touchback? So it'll be 4th and 7 for the Bobcats here. I think they're going to keep their offense out. Lovell doesn't seem to be sending anybody in the back to return a kick. So, yep, here they are. And this could be a pass play. Expect a pass from the Bobcats. Takes the snap. Boren back to throw. He'll throw it over the middle, and it's through. Bridger Pyle. That is going to be a incomplete pass. And Brody Moeller would have probably lit him up there had he caught it anyway, but just a little bit high above his glove. He was being chased down by a couple of linemen. And Lovell will get the ball back. That might be might be a turnover that the Bobcats end up ruining later in the game. I just have that feeling. Let's see if the Bobcat defense can keep working their magic here. They've let in a couple of passing touchdowns tonight. It's like twin set here. It'll be a run up the right side, a keeper for the sophomore quarterback. And that will, in fact, be, I thought that was Crosby, yeah. Oh, sorry, got the hiccups. Chase Crosby in on the run. And we haven't seen the Bulldogs we haven't really seen them go with a quarterback run too much tonight. They've been kind of given the load tonight to Matthew Newman. Both Newman and, I want to say, I think Cash Wassmer have been given most of the load tonight. 2:37 to go here in the half, 12-7. And we got a flag. Let's see what it's for. It looks like it's on the Bobcat end of the field.
Timeout on the field.
Or, sorry, no, it's not a timeout. Or it might be, but it might also be a penalty. So Lovell will use their 3rd and final timeout. There's also a penalty. So we'll stick around real quick for that.
Just a reminder, fans, halftime, the Pee-wee cheer performance.
So with that,
and then we have the dance performance at halftime.
2:32 to go. Let's see what the penalty was for. They were talking, two of the Black Caps were talking there. The man on the back end was the one who threw the flag. I don't know if we're going to get an answer until they get out of the timeout, but they're going to talk with the white cap here. We'll keep an eye on it. We'll be right back from inside of LeRoy Hayes Field. 12-7, Bulldogs on top. I would like to welcome you back. Doesn't look like we have a penalty, I guess. 2nd and 4 coming up for the Bulldogs. Lined up on the 41-yard line. Takes the snap, drops back to throw. He'll throw it over the middle. It's picked off. Cannon Boren. He'll go to the near side. Gets toward the 30. Lowers his shoulder. Down inside, close to the 20. And the Bobcats will get it back. Cannon Boren, another interception on the season. And he's been an interception machine on the defensive side of the ball all season. Not shocked that he got that one. And that is a crucial pick there for the Bobcats. Whether or not they can execute on offense is another story entirely, but let's see what they got. Ooh, 23-yard line. So not quite the red zone just yet, but very, very close. Wing T here for the Bobcats. And it will be a keeper for Boren. It'll be an option. Goes to the far side. Still on his feet. He'll get in. Touchdown, Bobcats. And the fire truck sirens go off here at LeRoy Hayes Field. And I couldn't quite see. I think it was Collins that they gave the pitch to on the far side. Boren had some space. He saw that it was going to get closed up. He pitched it to the outside. A classic option play there. Beautiful job there by the gray and purple to make the touchdown. 13-12. Takes the snap. The hold is good, and the kick is good. And that is a 2-point lead for the Bobcats. 14-12. We got to take a bit of a breather after that. We'll be right back. Lovell will be returning when we come back at LeRoy Hayes Field. Do not go anywhere. We would like to welcome you back here inside of Hot Springs County High School at LeRoy Hayes Field. Bobcats take the lead for the first time tonight. Can they keep a hold of it as the Bobcats trying to go undefeated here through 4 games? Bobcats looking for, the Bobcats last season finished with their best record since 2013. They finished the season 5-3 with losses against Worland, Cokeville, I believe, and I can't remember who their third one was against, but this will be returned out from the 20-yard line, goes to the far side, and a big hit to the far side, still on his feet. That was a good block, whoever that was. I saw somebody just get lit up on the 30-yard line, but the Bulldogs will take over.
Matthew Newman on the return of about 20 for the Bulldogs.
So, yeah, 1st and 10 on the 40-yard line. Good field position here. Getting up close to midfield. However, is it good field position because Bobcats have done a pretty good job defending their own end of the field. Coming close to 2 minutes to go here in the second quarter here from LeRoy Hayes Field. And it is completely pitch black here in Thermop. This is what we call under the lights here. There's a little bit of blue out toward Worland Way, but that doesn't count. You could probably expect the Lovell Bulldogs here to try to pass. Send the man in motion. Yep, and I knew it. Am I just a genius? It bounces off his helmet, gets the catch anyway, and he'll break free. Number 10 in on the catch, and we got a flag. So Owen Walker on the reception for the Bulldogs.
Bulldogs pass is complete from Crosby to Walker.
So let's see what the flag was. They threw in a flag shortly after the slide. So we'll have to see here. And here comes the white cap here to deliver the play or call here. And this one is going back. So still first down, it looks like, and it might have been holding, I believe was the call. So with that, 1st and 15, so we're looking at a 6-man set of downs here for the Bulldogs.
Opening up a 1st and 15.
And that is very good news for the Bobcats. Like we said, we're going to say this one more time, then we won't say it for the rest of the night. During our pregame, we said that the big thing for the Bobcats was to limit the penalties that they got. As far as I know, I think they've gotten like 1 penalty, if at all, tonight. So Lovell's been getting the brunt of them. I think this is their 3rd time getting called for something tonight. So Lovell having a lot of issues keeping that dish towel in the referee's pockets here. So it looks like it'll actually be 2nd and 15. And the student section trying to get loud here. Mixture of claps and pennies in a milk jug, which the fans brought to Worland a couple weeks ago. Bobcats, you know what? Actually, I've noticed a bit of a pattern. When the Bobcats beat Worland, most of the time they go on to win the state title. So, you know what? Let's see if that happens. 2nd and 15. Takes the snap, drops back, and he is going to heave this one deep. And is it hauled in? I think it might have been. The Bobcats say incomplete. And it looks like that'll be exactly the call. Man, I don't care how that ended. The Bulldogs have been just doing a good job on those deep throws here so far tonight. Just an unlucky one on that one. 3rd and 15 coming up. But got to give the Bulldog receivers credit there. They've been making a lot of good plays on the far side of the field tonight. A big, big crowd here at LeRoy Hayes Field. I think this place can hold a couple thousand. Lovell, I'd say it's about half full over there on the Lovell side of the field. It's definitely more than half full over here on the Thermopolis side. So the Bulldogs and Bobcats definitely coming out supporting their teams tonight. A big rush here, under pressure, throws it to the middle. It's caught, and that is not how a human body is supposed to bend. And that is going to bring up 4th down. The catch made by Newman. And Chase Crosby, not Chase Crosby, Kyson Crosby. I've been calling him Chase all night. Kyson was sent running for his life on that. They've created that kind of pressure 3 times tonight. He's been doing a good job getting rid of the ball. And so let's see here. 1 minute and 9 seconds to go in the half. Both teams, I wonder what they got cooking up in the locker room here tonight. Takes the snap. This is a punt here for the Bulldogs. Back to return. And he'll let it bounce. And I think he'll just let the Bulldogs down it there, and he will. So back there to try to return it, I thought was... I thought that was Cannon Bourne back to return. 51 seconds to go. Almost said 51-0. Where did I get that from? But 14-12 is your score here from Thermopolis. Truly Friday Night Lights here in Hot Springs County. The battle of Highway 789 here. You know, I almost feel like that the Bobcats and the Bulldogs have kind of had an unofficial rivalry for a few years before Worland got demoted. There'll be a handoff up to the far side. He's got speed. Only a couple men to beat, and he'll be wrestled down to the 45. And he just came in with blazing speed. That was Nolan Collins. No wonder. The wide receiver with a set of wheels on him. The Bobcats will call a timeout, and we will take a quick break as they will get up close to midfield. 42 seconds to go here in the opening half of this one. We'd like to welcome you back here inside of LeRoy Hayes Field. I just remembered I forgot to switch the scene there, but that's okay. Scoreboard's been on for a while, so 42 seconds to go here in the first half. Bobcats close to midfield, still in their own territory, though. Takes the snap, and it'll be a keeper for Boren. He'll run to the near side. He's got room to run. Wrapped up, still on his feet, and it's going to be brought down by a pack of Bulldogs. 32 seconds left on the board here. And Bourne with just an absolutely explosive play to get him toward the red zone here. I don't know if they're quite in it yet. Nope, they're not. Just a few yards short of the red zone. And they're going to go wing T here. Takes the snap, a pitch to the near side. It's going to be Nolan Collins. He'll be brought down a couple yards away from the stick. And I think they're going to call timeout here. Yep, and Bobcats will use their third and final timeout of the half to try and get as much time on the board as they can. Now, the Bobcats will be getting the ball to start the second half, so that is something to keep in mind. We'll be right back. You are watching Bobcat football on Two Basins Sports Network, the voice of the Bobcats. I'd like to welcome you back inside of LeRoy Hayes Field. Tanner DeLay, don't know if the camera caught it, but he's down there warming up his leg. They might try to use him for a field goal. Let's see what happens. Twin set looks to be for the Bobcats. One man to his right hip, takes the snap from shotgun. It's a pass. He'll throw it over the middle, and that was picked off, and a bad pick there for the Cats. And it's just practically threw it there to Owen Walker on the play. And, Tanner can probably just take a little bit of a rest there. Probably won't be getting a field goal during this drive. But 1st and 10 here for the Bulldogs. The touchback off the interception is going to put them up to the 20-yard line. Bobcats will be getting the ball, though, to start the second half, but I think it would probably be 28-14 without, or 28-12 without the mistakes the Bobcats have made today. And Lovell will kneel it, and that is going to conclude it here in this opening half as the Bulldogs trail 14-12 here at LeRoy Hayes Field. We'll be right back in about 15 minutes or so for the start of the second half. Bobcats lead, and we'll be back in just a moment. What a game that this has been. We'll be back in about 10 or so minutes for scores from around the two basins here in just a moment. So I want to stay tuned for that. 14-12, Bobcats lead here at home. Talking back inside of LeRoy Hayes Field. I hope you enjoyed the halftime, at least what you were able to see of it. There were a couple of people standing in the way with that. Anyway, well, it's time to dive right into our little halftime segment. Your scores from around the two basins. We're delivering scores here at halftime from the Wind River and Bighorn basins. Starting off with some games that happened yesterday. Starting off in Class 9-man, Wind River took on the Wyoming Indian Chiefs. That game went about as well as you'd expect from the Chiefs, frankly. The Wind River Cougars won that game 54-0. Cougars had a total of 450 yards of offense, and they ran for 381. Does it for the Thursday games. We have some games that are currently in progress tonight. A lot of them are currently at halftime. We're going to start off with Lander and Torrington, as the Lander Valley Tigers came into this ranked 5th in Class 3A. They're taking on the Torrington Trailblazers. Lander is currently leading at the half, 28-9. Starting off with Rollins at Buffalo. By the way, we're in Class 3A to start off. The Buffalo Bison will be set to take on the Rollins Outlaws here in just a moment. Jackson is set to take on Star Valley, who is the number 1 team in Class 3A. No big surprise there. And a rivalry game tonight. Ooh, that'll be a good one. The Powell Panthers taking on the number 2 ranked Cody Bronx in Cody from Spike Van Noy Field. Heading back down into the Wind River Basin, the number 3 ranked Riverton Wolverines will be in Douglas to take on the number 4 ranked Douglas Bearcats. Of course, you can listen to that game on YO Today or County 10. Heading down into Class 2A, we've had a couple of Basin games that have already ended, including Bighorn taking on Burns, the battle of the ranked teams. Number 1 ranked Bighorn demolished the number 5 ranked Burns Bronx 59-0. Woohoo, man. The Worland Warriors, Bobcat fans, you're going to be happy to hear this. The Worland Warriors took on the Lyman Eagles today. Worland won that game 7-0. Great performance there on the defensive end of the ball by both sides. Worland was able to win. Mountain View Buffaloes, or sorry, no, that's not the Bighorn Basin. I apologize for that. This one is, though. Newcastle Dokies will be taking on the Tongue River Eagles from Walt Gray Field in just a moment. Of course, Newcastle, I believe, will be broadcasting that game. Of course, we got Cokeville sorry. Good Lord, I'm all over the place. That is it for Class 2A in the Bighorn and Wind River Basins. Back in the Class 9-man for tonight's action, the Rocky Mountain Grizzlies took on the Big Piney Punchers. Rocky Mountain came into this game ranked 4th and Big Piney number 3. Rocky Mountain Grizzlies fell by just 2 points to the Big Piney Punchers. The Punchers beat the Grizzlies 30-28. Heading down to our boys over at Boysen. The Shoshone Wranglers are set to take on the Grable Buffaloes tonight. Grable is ranked number 2 in 9-man. Now we head down into Class 6-man for some of the games that have been played so far tonight. The Burlington Huskies, good Lord, I've seen some crazy scores in Class 6-man, but nothing like that. The Burlington Huskies took on the Hewlett Red Devils, who just had their first night game in school history last week against Matitsi, by the way. The number 3 ranked Burlington Huskies took on the number 5 ranked Hewlett Red Devils. Burlington won that game, and brace yourself for this. 99-40 was the final score. Keep in mind, this is 6-man. Those scores can get pretty friggin' intense. Heading on down to Riverside, Basin Riverside, the Rebels took on the KC Buckaroos today. KC, I believe, forfeited their last couple of contests. Riverside Rebels won that game 58-6. The game was actually called in the 3rd quarter. Good Lord. And then heading into tomorrow's games, got some good games on tap for tomorrow, as DuBois will be set to take on Hannah Elk Mountain Medicine Bow. That game will be played in DuBois tomorrow at 2 p.m. Final game of our halftime show here. The Matitsi Longhorns will be set to take on the 10 Sleep Pioneers. Both teams coming off of losses in the previous week. The Matitsi Longhorns lost to Hewlett under the lights. The Longhorns will take on the 10 Sleep Pioneers tomorrow in 10 Sleep at 2 p.m. That's going to do it for our halftime show here. The scores across the two basins as people continue to stand in our way. And we'll see you back in about 6 minutes and 13 seconds for the start of the second half. Bobcats still lead 14-12 over the Lovell Bulldogs. We'll be right back. You're watching Bobcat football on Two Basins Sports Network, the voice of the Bobcats. like to welcome you back here inside of LeRoy Hayes Field, home of the Bobcats. Second half about ready to get underway here in just a moment. Well, the Bobcats looking to take down the Lovell Bulldogs. Bulldogs, I can't believe I'm about to say this, are looking to upset the Bobcats here. Bulldogs came into this game 1-2 with a win over Lyman last week, trying to keep that win streak at 2. But we are about ready to get back into this game as Lovell received the kick to start the game. They will now look to kick it away. And it's been a really good game for the Bobcats. They had a very, very sluggish first quarter, but the second quarter really started to pick up for them. They'll be looking to carry that momentum here into the second half. So with that being said,
Newman to kick off to start the second half.
And so kicking off for Lovell will be, I think, Matthew Newman. And Lovell kicks it away, boot to leather. We're back underway here in Thermopolis. This will get out toward the pylon. He'll pick it up and run to the middle. Stutter steps, he'll go back to the far side. He'll be brought down close to the 10-yard line.
Garrison on the return.
And I think they said it was Garrison. Jordan Garrison.
Wasserburn with the tackle for the Bulldogs.
Tackle made by Cash Wassmer. And so the Bobcats will be looking to start off strong on this coming possession. Should be 28-12 if it weren't for a couple of costly errors, including a fumble by Cannon Boren and a interception, a really bad interception, also thrown by Boren. So definitely going to need to limit those mistakes here in this second half. There'll be a handoff up to the far side. And it will be second down. They did lose a yard or two on that carry. Second and 11 is the official call.
Collins, the ball carrier.
So Nolan Collins, they sent the right wide receiver in on the carry. Bridger Pyle coming out of the game here on this play. So not too cold, not too warm, although the breeze does make it a little chilly occasionally here. It's about 50 or some odd degrees here in Thermop. It was almost 80 at kickoff time. And I thought I saw a fumble there, but it's actually going to be a run to the near side. He is marked down with a bit of a gain there, about 4 or 5. Third down is coming up here for the Bobcats. And by the way, we apologize for the people walking in front of our camera. Hopefully if the Bobcats could get into the other end of the field, hopefully things will be a little bit lessened, I guess. Just got people coming and going because nobody can seem to sit down. Twin set here for the Bobcats and already a timeout called. So Purple and Gold will call a timeout, their first of the half, and we'll be right back in just a moment. Talk to you back inside of LeRoy Hayes Field. Third down coming up for the Bobcats. Twin set. We got somebody that jumped, I think. Yep, false start on the Bobcats, it looks to be. Yep, that's going to put them back a little bit. They got to be able to, I mean, as the offense, you have the advantage of knowing what the snap count is. You know, that's stuff that they teach you at the Pee Wee level. We've seen the Bobcats get caught out on that a couple times here this season. In twin set here, looking to snap from shotgun. He'll take the snap and a handoff, and he's going to have some yards up the far side.
Collins on the carry.
So Collins was credited with the carry there for the Bobcats.
Travis Easy on the tackle. Brings up a
Bit of a late one here. 8:30 is currently the time here in Thermop. Ten minutes to go in the third quarter. Bobcats looking to convert on fourth down. They'll hand it up to the far side. It's going to be a rugby scrum, and I think he's short. We'll just have to see. Nope, I think they marked him past the line or past the first down marker. Let's have to see. Again, Bowker has not been afraid at all since he took the mantle in 2023. He's been super aggressive on fourth down situations, and that's another Bobcat first down. They got the official word. And I think the Bobcat sideline knew it before the refs even had to measure it there. By the way, we got a new one suited up. Never mind, we don't. I thought he had his pants on. No, he does not. I thought they had Hughes Becerra suited up there on the near side, but he is just the ball boy for today, I guess. First and 10 here for the Bobcats. About 10 minutes to go in the third quarter, and he's going to shoot out like a cannon there. Watch it be boring. Watch it be boring. If it's boring, then that landed a lot better than I thought it would, and I think it was. But he shot out of there like a cannon. It's just a lot of explosiveness from the Bobcats tonight. We've seen a lot of we saw Nolan Collins, right? He got a very big gain on a run just by shooting through the gap and just not asking any questions about it. Handing it off up the middle, and he'll go through for the first down and just a little bit extra. Got about 2 more yards than he needed on that first down, but Bobcats will get there. Now, second half, you have the lead by 2. You could try to extend it here, but I think the big goal here for the Bobcats is to try to chew a little bit of time off the clock. Try to, extending the lead obviously should also be a bit of a priority, but you want to try and give Lovell as little time as possible to try to get back onto the board. It's still a 2-point game, though, so you know what? They don't pay me to make these decisions. I'm just going to shut my mouth and just keep this one going. Takes the snap from shotgun. Another handoff at the far side. Gets some good yardage there. And brought down by the Lovell interior and a couple of linebackers to go with it. 8:20 to go in the third quarter. Mac Buckner. Good Lord. So they are using a couple of new players here. Buckner listed as a junior. And I have a feeling, because Bridger's a senior this year, so is Nolan and Zach. I have a feeling that we might be seeing more of Mac Buckner and shoot, what's his name? And it'll be a run up through the middle there. I'm trying to figure out who else I'm thinking about here. Jordan Garrison, I think, is the one I'm thinking of, actually. I don't know. They could. They very well could use him there. So you never know. I'm just making my predictions as to what kind of running back pair we're going to see in 2026, but never know. So 3rd down and 5 coming up after the run up the middle. They're going to try to convert here. Bobcats have had a pretty good success rate on 3rd and 4th down conversions this season. Takes the snap and another handoff, and that one stopped dead, and it's nope, never mind. He is going to get some more yards out of it. Thought he was dead to rights there, but that was Cannon Bourne in on the carry.
Bourne on the keeper, brought down by Newman.
So fake handoff, kind of a read option kind of situation. Fakes the handoff and takes it himself. Shoots it right up the middle of the line there. Couldn't tell if he went there through A gap or not, but I assume just did a really good job executing on the run. But now it's 4th down and 1. They're going to need another play like it. I don't know. They're going wing T. It could just be a regular handoff here. Oh, yep, they don't have to. That's a jump on Lovell.
Penalty on the play.
And that's going to be another Bobcat first down off of the penalty. And the Lovell has just continues to shoot themselves in the foot. That's their third offside penalty tonight. They've had a couple of more egregious ones tonight as well. They have given Bobcats first downs. And Thermopolis, big sigh of relief. That's a fresh set of downs. And made a little bit, it's compacted by the fact that they're on their own 48 now. They're getting close to the Lovell end of the field. Takes the snap, hands it off to the far side. It's Pyle with the carry. And a loss of 2 on the play. It'll bring up second down and I want to say 12. About halfway through the third quarter here at LeRoy Hayes Field. We got about 18 minutes left in this game. And it has been a treat. This game has been about as advertised. The Lovell Bulldogs pulled out to an early 12-0 lead. But the Bobcats shot out and got 2 touchdowns right after that. So they've had a pretty good game up to this point. Bobcats just trying to keep the train rolling as best as they can. Sends a man in motion. It's Hasty. Fakes the handoff. He'll shoot through. He's got a lot of room. It's Boren on the carry, and he's wrestled down. That's another Bobcat first down. Cannon Boren again shoots out like a cannon. And it'll be another Bobcat first down.
One on the keeper. Gain of 25 on the play. Sitting up for another Bobcat first and 10.
So here we go. 5:28 on the board. Boren gets them about to the, I want to say 30 something like 20. Oh, never mind. It's right there, 24-yard line.
First and 10 from the.
And the fans are loving it here in Thermopolis. Explosive play. It's been so entertaining to watch the Bobcats these past couple of years. There'll be a run up the middle. He's tripped up and taken down. I'm trying to see who it was on the carry. It looked to have been Bridger Pyle actually on the carry there.
Bridger Pyle, the ball carrier.
Well, Bridger Pyle, if you could excuse the pun a little bit, he's piled on the rushing yards this season. One of the best rushers in the state of Wyoming right now. You know, and like I said this about Dell last year, right? If he doesn't get invited to the Shrine Bowl this June, there's going to be problems. But here we go. 4:30 to go in the third quarter. 2nd and 9. Bobcats in very favorable position here. They're kind of in the driver's seat here as the Lovell fans trying to distract them. And it's going to be around the back here. Zach Hasty on the pitch. And he's going to get to the sticks and maybe just a little bit more. Zach Hasty, a true definition of a Swiss Army knife. They use him as a receiver and a bit of a running back on some of these plays. They'll send him in motion. Sometimes they'll just pitch it right to him on a fake. And that was one of those pitches there, kind of I don't know what we really call it a reverse, but it kind of was. Yeah, that's exactly what it was. Actually, it was a reverse. 4 minutes to go, and a well-executed play by the Bobcats. This team is out there playing like they're having a ton of fun right now, and it's so much fun to watch these guys. And keep in mind, Lovell, and I know this game is far from over, but Lovell's been a team that the Bobcats have struggled against for years. Even when they've had winning records, winning seasons, they've just not been able. Lovell's been that thorn in their side, just like Worland. A run up the left side, and a flag comes in. He did get a little bit toward the stick there. I don't think he got past it. And it was Boren on a run. So let's see what the flag is for. I looked, it came in a little bit after the handoff there, or not the handoff, but a little bit after he kind of moved forward. And it looks like the Bobcats are going to get sent back a little bit here. So I want to say it was holding.
Penalty on the play.
So I want to say it was holding, but we don't have any confirmation here, and I don't think we're going to get that. 3:40 to go here in the third. Whatever it was, this sent him back. It must have been holding because it was a 10-yard penalty. 1st and 20. Or not. They are going to move him up again. Still, referee still doing the double stick here. First and 15 looks to be the official call. Takes the snap. Bit of a delayed handoff. He'll go to the far side, the fumble, and I think Lovell picked it up.
Fumble on the play.
Yep, and that's going right back to the Bulldogs. That is not a mistake. Again, that's the third. That is the third mistake that has costed the Bobcats a shot at the end zone. That is their third turnover close to or inside the red zone tonight, and that is something they got to get cleaned up before the Cokeville game. Because I mean, and we got Mountain View coming in a couple of weeks as well. They're not going to beat Mountain View with those types of errors because Mountain View's been almost perfect on a lot of their games. It's just not something you want to see if you're a Bobcat fan. But Lovell, the guys over there on the far side of the field, loving what they're seeing out of that. Now they got a big chance here to try to take the lead back. This could be a big showdown here late in this game. Takes the snap and a handoff to the far side, and he's going to get wrapped up and taken down a couple of yards. I think he got there, if any. Bobcats just going to have to rely on their interior here to keep doing what they've been doing all game practically. And Lovell's been struggling a lot on their run game tonight. They've had both their touchdowns have come from passing attempts tonight, so do keep that in mind. If they pass or if something happens, like if they try to throw it downfield, which they haven't yet so far this quarter, I mean they're going to have probably some success out of that kind of play. Takes the snap, and here they go. They're going to drop back, and they're going to get ready to throw. Far side. And I think he picked it off. Yes, he did. What a play to the far side, and they're going to get it back.
The pass intended for Newman.
Ooh, Newman. Okay, never mind. It wasn't. I apologize. Still, third down is the call here. It was intended for Matthew Newman, their main target tonight. Newman's got I think there was one by Newman and one by Walker tonight on the touchdown receptions. So he's got a couple of targets to throw to if he wants to, but 3rd and 11, Lovell's going to have to do something here on this play. I don't know if they're going to try to punt it or if they're going to try and go for it and risk turning the ball over on their own red zone. But drops back to throw. He's going to look deep. Winds up and throws. That one over the middle, and it's caught. That's a first down and a lot more. He'll transition middle. Goes for the near side tackle. He's still on his feet. Tries to stiff arm. He's brought out of bounds. The catch made by Owen Walker. The tackle made by Stone Pebbles. And like I said earlier, Lovell's had a lot of success on their passing plays tonight. Stats haven't quite showed that leading up to this game, but I think that's definitely something that they've improved on over the course of the past couple of weeks, for sure. 2:27 to go. And the Bobcats are definitely going to have to try and hold more firm here. Like we said, had they not had those 3 turnovers, this would probably not even be an issue. And I feel like that's how Lovell has kept a lot of their games have been super close this season. Their 3 losses have been, well, actually the only loss that hasn't been within 1 score was the loss against Mountain View. The run up the gut here to the far side. He'll transition up to the middle. Still on his feet and finally brought down. The run made there by number 10 of Owen Walker. He's been him and Newman have been given the brunt of the load here tonight. 2 minutes to go here in the 3rd quarter. 2nd and 8. The student section getting riled up here. And I think I need to invest in like one of those wireless microphones to put down on the fence there. Takes the snap, fakes the handoff, rolls out to the right side, throws over, and it's caught! Went through the hands of one receiver and into another. And that'll bring up another Bulldog first down, I believe. Yep, it will. And so the Bulldogs just barely knocking on the door of the red zone if they're not in already. Nope, they're on the 25, so they're going to be about 5 yards away. Score is still 14-12. How many games have the Bobcats had like this last season that have come down to the final players? So I feel like Lovell's trying to set up for that. There'll be a run to the near side, and he's swallowed up by a pride of Bobcats. Second down coming up. Still got a small gain out of it, though. Less than a minute to go here in the third quarter. Coming up tomorrow on Two Basin Sports Network, we're transitioning from the pigskin to, well, I don't know what volleyballs are made of. But we're transitioning from outdoors to indoors as the Thermopolis Bobcats welcome the Grable Buffaloes to town. We got freshman, JV, and varsity action for you tomorrow right here on TBSN, the voice of the Bobcats. Monday, we're going to be seeing more of the blue and black as the Lovell Bulldogs are sending their middle school team to town. A run up the far side. It does not fool the Bobcats. He faked that. He looked like he was faking the handoff and like he was going to throw a short pass. Lovell just, I mean, it caught me, but it sure as heck didn't get the defensive lineman there. They did a great job stopping that play in its tracks. 3rd and 9, 3, 2, 1, and the buzzer will sound here at LeRoy Hayes Field, and that is going to conclude the third quarter. We got 12 more minutes to go in tonight's action as the Bobcats try to stay undefeated against the Lovell Bulldogs. We'll be right back in just a moment from inside of LeRoy Hayes Field. The score, 14-12. Bobcats continue to lead. We like talking back inside of LeRoy Hayes Field, home of the Bobcats. Fourth quarter coming up here. And while I had my headset off, I heard the Lovell student section over there. They are starting to fire up as well, so should be very interesting indeed. Fourth quarter coming up. Bobcats with 2 timeouts to burn. Lovell with all 3 still. 3rd and 9 is the current situation, and Lovell is pinned way back in their own end of the, or sorry, no, check that. They're pinned inside the Bobcat, well, not really red zone, but they're pretty dang close. And I remember back in 2020, the Bulldogs kicked the game-winning field goal at Kevin P. Robertson Memorial Stadium. So let's see if they still have that kind of field goal kicking power here. Under a lot of pressure, throws to the far side, and it's up with a 50-50 ball. And it's going to be going back to the Bobcats. The referee signals to the right end of the field. And what a play! And I can't remember if that was Hasty's side of the field or Collins. I think that's actually Nolan's side of the field. What a play by the defense. And there have been a lot of plays like that tonight. Lovell has tried to chuck it up toward that far side of the field. The Bobcats finally, after multiple attempts, have finally brought it in on an interception. And they will get the ball back. They have to keep a hold of it here. And this, I guarantee you, in Class 2A, this is the game of the week. This has got to be. On paper it was. In practice, it's playing out just like that. Takes the snap, handoff to the near side through the middle. And he'll get a couple of yards on the carry. Second down coming up for the Bobcats, and the student section is going haywire. By the way, on the topic of the student section, they are dressed up in their pink today. There is actually a pink out night scheduled for senior night. When Rocky Mountain comes for volleyball and when Pinedale comes for football, student section will probably be dressed out in pink that night. So we will not be at that game. We will actually be in Grable that night with middle school basketball. But if you are coming to the game when we play Pinedale in mid-October, please wear pink. I'm not being told to say that. I've just looked at this thing and it's like, yeah, pink out night. That's pretty obvious. Run up the middle. He's still on his feet. believe that was Pyle on the carry. I'm waiting for yep, nope, never mind. That was Nolan Collins.
Nolan Collins, the ball carrier.
So third down coming up, and it's going to be a gain of 3 there for Collins. They've been gaining 3 on every run on this, or on every play so far in this drive, and they're trying to avoid the 3 and out, but let's see here. Right now, like I said earlier, the main goal, fourth quarter, you're up by 2. Main thing right now is to try to run the clock out, and I'm getting 2020 vibes right now because Bobcats, I believe, were leading in 2020 in Lovell. Came down to a last-second field goal from Lovell to win the game. So hopefully it's not that same situation here. It'll be a flag on the play, and it's a false start on the Bobcats. That'll put them back just a little ways. Should be 3rd and 9, I think, after this penalty. So that is not what the purple and gold needed here. 10-19 to go. So once again, our next football broadcast will be some middle school football for you as the Lovell Bulldogs again send their middle school team to Thermopolis to take on the Bobcats. I believe Thermop got the win in Lovell last year, so let's see if they can keep that going here. 3rd down and 9. A loud away section here. And a run up the near side, and he is gobbled up. And that'll bring up 4th down for the Bobcats. And now Boone Bowker is faced with a choice here. Do you go for it this deep in your own end, or do you punt it away and rely on your defense to make the stop? I think I would probably, if I'm him, I'd punt it and just try to. Yep, that looks like that's what they're going to do. They got a Lovell guy back toward the 40 to try to return. Yep, and I think that's what they're going to do. I trust the Bobcat defense enough to make the stop. So, that's one of those things. Like, you know what kind of defense you guys have, and it's like, yeah. It'll be a punt up to the middle here. Returned by number 2 for Lovell. They're going to fall on it. Think it'll be down. Yep, it will. He never touched it, so Matthew Newman was back there to try to return. That'll pin the Bulldogs on the 35 or 36-yard line. So Lovell is going to switch out their personnel here. And this game has just got a whole lot more interesting after that stalled drive for Thermopolis. And I think without that penalty, they probably could have went in and got the first down, but let's see what Lovell has here. The Bobcat defense, just got to see if they can hold past beyond the midfield, right? They clamp up and they really make good stops when the opposing team gets inside the 30, but they can't really afford to do that right here. Not when Lovell has a good kicker. Takes the snap and a quarterback keeper. He'll be a quarterback draw up the near side, and he will not get too far there. The second down coming up off of the run by the sophomore, Kyson Crosby. Coming in at 6 foot, 165 pounds. And I cannot wait to see, regardless of how this game ends, I cannot wait to see what the WyoPreps rankings look like next week. And the Bobcats should have a decently easy matchup with Cokeville next week, as Cokeville is 0-3 to start the season. Takes the snap, rolls out to the right side. Under heavy pressure, throws, and it's incomplete! Almost picked off! And that'll bring up 3rd down for the Bulldogs. 8:22 to go. And pressure is on now for Lovell, and we knew this is what was going to happen, a battle of the defenses here. Lovell has had a stout defense. This is how they won their game as well, 25-22 against Lyman last week. And this is how they hung on with Bighorn. They lost that game against Bighorn, but still, they hung really tight, and that is the best team in Class 2A right now. Bobcats will probably have a date with them in October if they keep the way that they're playing here. But we'll have to see. Takes the snap, drops back in the pocket, looks to heave it deep, And that's going to a defender. Collins picks it off. It's going back to the Bobcats. And an ill-advised throw for Crosby. And that is either their second or their third pick of the game. Barely had to flinch on that, and the student section has lost their mind. And man, this has been an exciting game from start to finish. The Cardiac Cats are back, man. Good Lord. 14-12. Bobcats with possession. The secret here is to just hold on. Lovell still got all three of their timeouts, though. There'll be a run up the far side, and one guy was getting blocked really far back. We saw Cruz Mascoro trying to keep a man back, like 20 yards back from the line of scrimmage. 2nd down and 8 coming up on the run. I believe they said pile. A regulation middle school quarter to go here. Ball on the 30-yard line. Second down and 8. Clock still running, by the way. 7:30 to go. One man in motion. Takes the snap, hands it off up the middle. Nope, check that. It's actually a keeper here. And the option does not work out. That is going to be Cannon Boren going all the way back. Or check that. He actually did gain 1 yard. So 3rd down and I want to say 7 or 6. So they'll say 3rd and 7. Ball on the 31-yard line. Can Lovell's defense hold? They know what the play calls are going to be. I don't think we've seen very many passes from Cannon Boren today. Wonder if they're going to call that eventually here. They've been running all game pretty much. Well, there is that one throw that they had earlier, but it'll be a run to the near side. Evades multiple defenders. Pyle breaks free. He'll get the first down and a lot more. And he'll get past midfield. That's another Bobcat first down. And Pyle just keeps running like a bulldozer. Pretty ironic when you consider that the Pyle family actually owns a trucking company here in town. So here we go. 6:23 still to go, 14-12. In case you're just tuning in, Bobcats have a chance to get one of their biggest wins of the year against an opponent that's been a thorn in their side for years. A handoff to Nolan Collins. Stiff arms one. Gets the first down. Lowers his shoulder. He'll get there for the first down. And he laid a hit on Owen Edwards. And that's another Bobcat first down. 6 minutes to go, halfway through the 4th. Bobcats trying to stay undefeated, and if they can just hold on. And if they score, that's going to be a big issue for Lovell because Lovell has missed both their PATs. And that, I kind of had a feeling that if Lovell didn't make those PATs, it would come back to haunt them later in the game at some point. Looks like 4 down linemen here for Lovell, 3 linebackers. Be a handoff to the middle here. And he'll be brought down for a gain of about 3 or 4 on the play. 2nd down for the Bobcats. And again, the main objective here is just kind of to just try to run out the clock. Lovell kind of needs a turnover here. Bobcats have been doing really well moving the ball. It's just the turnovers have been killers today for them. Here comes Thermop lining up, still trying. You can see they're trying to milk the clock as much as they can here. Takes the snap, the run up the near side to Pyle. He gains about 2 or 3 on the play there. 3rd down coming up. Looks to be 3rd and 4, so I would wager to say that's a gain of 3. And this is giving me vibes of the Kemmerer game as well from last year. Just a very close lead. Bobcats just trying to run the clock down. If it ends like the Kemmerer game did last year, I mean, that's just where Kemmerer got the turnover and then Thermop just held on to win that game. They had a lot of one-score wins last season. It's not much different this year so far. Hand off up the middle. This will definitely be 4th down here, but that is going to be a close distance to the chains here. And Lovell is going to call a timeout, so they'll use their first timeout finally. And we are going to take a very quick breather. 14-12 as the Bobcats try to put this one to bed here at home. Talking back here inside of LeRoy Hayes Field. Also, we are aware, Taylor, that our live stream is a little blurry. If you'd like to chip in and help us get a new camera, then you're more than welcome to. 14-12 is your score here. 4:07 to go. 4th down and 3. They were warming up. Tanner DeLay there on the near side. Takes the snap. Handoff. What will this be? It's a rugby scrum to the near side. Might be enough, but we'll just have to see. Boone Bowker wants it to be a 1st down. So let's see. They had to measure last time here. So they'll stop the clock. And I think they're going to measure here. Yep, they're going to bring out the sticks. And let's see. Chain gang's coming out. What do they say? Oh. I think this is the second time they've had to measure it tonight. It's been some close calls. Do believe he got it, but and they got it. That's another Bobcat. 1st down. And so with that, they'll get a fresh set of downs. 4 minutes to go in this ball game. 2/3 of the way through the 4th quarter. Bobcats will get set to take on the Cokeville Panthers next week. We will not be in Cokeville, unfortunately, due to the infrastructure at the stadium not allowing both us and the radio station, of course, the broadcasts. We need somewhere to set up. But takes the snap and a pitch to the near side. He'll cut through the middle. Lowers his shoulder. Still on his feet and brought down. The tackle made by Owen Edwards. And just the way the Bobcats have just been running the ball so violently tonight. And they say football has become soft. I disagree with that sentiment, especially after watching this game. Good Lord. 3:25 to go. The Bobcats first and goal. They've completely turned off the distance on the board here. If they score here, that should make things a lot easier. He'll run it up the middle, and he's in! Touchdown, Bobcats! It's Bridger Pyle on the rushing TD!
A 5-yard touchdown run for number 4. Bridger Pyle.
Well, if they make this PAT, then that's going to make things a lot more difficult for Lovell, because this made PAT would make it a 9-point game. which would mean that even if Lovell were to score on this next drive and get the 2-point conversion, that would not be enough for them to win this game. So the Bobcats, let's see, the snap, the kick, it's up, and it is good! It's a 9-point game. And Nolan Collins there just gave Bowker, or Coach Bowker there, a chest bump there. We will be right back as the Bobcats assemble their kickoff squad. They just got to hold on for 3 more minutes. We will be right back from LeRoy Hayes Field. It's 21-12. Do not go anywhere. I'd like to welcome you back here inside of LeRoy Hayes Field, home of the Bobcats. 3 minutes to go. Bobcats up 21-12. They took the lead for the first time in that second quarter, and they haven't scored since then, but they definitely have not looked back yet. 21-12, looking on the road to 4-0. Their best season since 2013 up to this point. Takes the kick. This one going to the near side. I think he intentionally meant for it there. And misses on the tackle there, but that would have been a violent hit if he got there. And he's wrestled down. Tackle was made there, I believe, by Stone Pebbles. So 1st and 10, Lovell. It's not impossible for them to win this game. It's not, but they have a couple of hurdles they need to jump first. Yeah, they got a new track surface last year, so maybe jumping hurdles is what they do best. But 3 minutes to go, 21-12. I know I sound like a broken record. Good Lord. I never said the score that much in my life up to this point, but yeah, to some people's complaints, I guess. You guys ask, well, there's one specific viewer that asked for me to say the score a lot more frequently. My grandmother. Takes a snap, rolls out to the far side, throws to the sideline, wide open, it's caught. And he'll just elect to run out of bounds to the comfort of his own teammates. That was Owen Walker. And Owen Walker, the 6'6" senior. Good Lord, am I reading that right? 6'6", good Lord. No wonder he's been the favorite target tonight of Kyson Crosby. I guess when you're tall, I guess yeah, I think the Bobcats have a little bit of a size difference here for sure between them and Lovell. But despite that, they've got 3 picks on the day. Step back throws, it's caught through the middle. He'll go to the middle and tries to juke his way out of it, and he'll be brought down to midfield. And that'll move the chains. That's another Bulldog first down. Both teams still with 2 timeouts remaining, and the clock will run as that was a completed pass, and he stayed in bounds. So by NFHS rules, the clock will still run. Takes the snap. He'll look to throw. Being rushed. He'll have to roll out to the far side. He'll take it himself. Braces for impact, and he'll lose some yards, but there's a flag. I think I know what it's for, but I'll just hold my tongue. So let's see what it's for. And they're going to say late hit. And I guess to an extent, I actually kind of agree with that call. Did look like he kind of went out and then, but at that point, like, it's kind of a thing of momentum at some extent, right? That being said, like I said, I agree with the call, but there are definitely some arguments that can be made. But Lovell will benefit. They will get the first down. Bobcats, to their credit, penalties have been few and far between tonight compared to the Bulldogs. But definitely not enough to keep them out of trouble. Bobcats still have the lead by 9 here. Like we said, a touchdown and a 2-point conversion will not be enough. And he'll launch this one deep to the near side. One-on-one! And it's incomplete! Almost picked off! What a good play there by Dylan Myers! Myers has had a couple lapses in coverage this season, but that was not one of them. What a play there by the junior, I think he is. Yeah. Dylan Myers, a fantastic defensive play. And a big shout out to the Bobcat cornerbacks today for the stuff that they've been pulling off tonight. They've had to put up with a lot of 50-50 balls from the Bulldogs. They've only let a couple escape through their hands tonight. That is pretty good, all things considered. And if they haven't been picked off, they've been dropped. So that's a big thing. Big pressure coming. Evades one tackle. And he'll stay on his feet to the far side. Another missed tackle. He'll run out of bounds. 3rd down coming up for the Bulldogs. So that should stop the clock. 3rd down and 4, I believe, is what's coming up. 3rd and 5. Never mind. So that's better for the Bobcats, but not by much. Keep in mind, this is still spitting distance for the Bulldogs. They could, I don't know quite what their kicker's limit is, but I know they can kick field goals. So that means you shouldn't let them get too deep into that side of the field. Lovell, one of the few 2A teams that I've seen that can actually kick a field goal, which I think Lovell doesn't play soccer, do they? Takes the snap. Drops back to pass under a little bit of pressure. Heaves it to the middle, and it's swatted! It's 4th down! Trying to see who that was, but it was an awesome swat by the Bobcats. And when you're dropping back into pass coverage like that, that's probably one of the better things you can do. Don't try to be a hero. Try to go for the pick and risk getting burned. Just go for the swat. And that's what he did. 2 minutes and 3 seconds. 4th and 5. Ball on the 30-yard line.
That's a 4th and 5.
I'd like to thank everyone who's tuned in up to this point. You are witnessing one of the greatest games the Bobcats have put on in a long time. Drops back to pass, throws to the near side, it's caught, and he'll stiff arm. Should be enough, and he will go out. So that will be a Bulldog 1st down.
Complete from Crosby to Newman.
And if I'm Nicholas Crosby, the head coach of the Bulldogs, I'm sweating bullets. I can only imagine what he's thinking over there on that far side. He's probably used to it. The Bulldogs have been in a couple of one-score games last season too, en route to their semifinal loss to Bighorn. Bighorn went on to win that state championship last season. So, when you're hanging tough with a team like that, only a 10-point loss. Drops back, rolls out to the right side. He's looking for air. Goes to the right side, and that's going to go through. 2nd down off the incomplete pass. A little overthrown. The Bobcat defender had to jump for it there on the play. And coming onto the field, we've got a substitute here. Number 61 now checking in. That is Colby Deere, the junior. Looks like they're going to have a bit of an O-line switch. Try to keep that D-line. Try to keep that defense a little bit more fresh here. No doubt this game has been wearing on the Bobcats and the Bulldogs both. They are going to be exiting this final whistle here just absolutely exhausted. No doubt Lovell will sleep all the way back home. And that's going to be a big wrap-up and takedown on the catch made by Matthew Newman. Check that. It was actually Owen Edwards there. So a timeout has been called, and it looks like it is a Lovell timeout. Thank God for that new timeout indicator on the scoreboard. We'll be right back from inside of LeRoy Hayes Field. It's 21-12 with 1 minute and 40 seconds left. Bobcats trying to get one of their biggest wins of the season. We'll be right back. Mike talking back here inside of LeRoy Hayes Field, home of the Bobcats. And Thermopolis came into this tied with Lovell in the YO Preps rankings, which made this game must-watch television to start with. And it's played out like that. Lovell trying to make things a little easier. It's 3rd down and 9. They have to score, get the 2-point conversion, and hopefully get an onside kick. That's up, and it's batted down! 4th down for the Bulldogs!
Pass from Crosby to Walker.
And Owen Walker has been, like I said, he's kind of been Kyson Crosby's favorite target tonight. We expected him to go more to Newman, but he's been targeting the senior receiver there. Kyson Walker, by the way, a sophomore at the starting quarterback position. Don't see that very often. But despite the interceptions today, I think he's proven that he does deserve the starting spot. I mean, all things considered. Takes the snap, drops back to pass, throws to the far side, it's caught. That's a 1st down. And the Lovell fans going wild. At least we can hear them through our headset. 1:29 to go, the clock will stop, and they will not be able to stop the Bulldogs on 4th down. This kind of makes me wonder if this is how the Bighorn game went for them. And this is giving me deja vu here because the Bobcats were in the same kind of situation last year against the Whirling Warriors. Just turned on the Jets way too late. In motion, takes the snap, and a penalty.
Penalty on the play.
I'm looking at all 3 refs, and it looks like it's false start on Lovell. And it is. That'll make it 1st and 15 for the Bulldogs. The student section letting Lovell know it here. Can't remember the last time I've heard that chant at a football game, though. That's usually more reserved for, like, basketball, I feel like. Maybe I just don't go to enough high school games. I'd say 88 seconds to go in this game. It's going down to the seconds here. Takes the snap, rolls out to the left, looks to pass. He's going to get hit after the throw, and it'll fall. It's picked off! The Bobcats pick it off! And the Bobcats, all they have to do is kneel it! And that should put it away! Their biggest win in a long time. A team that has been a thorn in their side for a decade. And they are going to hopefully be able to get it done on this play, or on this drive. Just have to see here. The Bobcats don't know. I don't know. Don't know if they'll be able to nail it, actually. Lovell still got 1 timeout to burn. And they'll kneel it, so they'll try. And a big interception for the Bobcats. Should get it done here. 1 minute to go on the board. Lovell not using a timeout. And we're just going to have to see how this goes here. I think Lovell's just kind of, they're pulling a tongue river. They just kind of throwing the white flag here. And you can hear the student section, the Lovell players off the field here. And the Thermopolis Bobcats, they did it during basketball. They have upset the Lovell Bulldogs here at home. And the final score, the Thermopolis Bobcats 21, the Lovell Bulldogs 12. And that is going to be a big surge of momentum heading into next week at Cokeville. And the Bobcats advance to 4-0 on the season. 4, 3, 2, 1, buzzer. And the Thermopolis Bobcats, a big win. And it just seems like a lot of magic happens when the Bobcats face Lovell these days. If you remember our basketball broadcast, damn near lost our voice because of that game. That was an upset, 66-64, I believe was the final score of that basketball game when the boys upset Lovell. And now, 6 months later, they do it again in the football season. Well, 7 months. And what a game it was from start to finish. It's time to deliver our Two Basins Sports Network Player of the Game. And that is going to go to, I'm going to give it to Cannon Boren. He has had a fantastic game despite a couple of hiccups tonight. I think he deserves the TBSN Player of the Game. We will be live tomorrow from Hot Springs County High School for volleyball action as the Thermopolis Bobcats take on the Grable Buffaloes. Coverage of that game will start. Shoot, I am so sorry. The game will start. That coverage of the freshman game will start at. Let me just get in the YouTube studio here and just see real quick. We are going to be going live tomorrow at. Come on, YouTube. Or not. You can just not do that. Thank you. I am so sorry, guys. I'm trying to just get this pulled up here. We'll be going live tomorrow for freshman volleyball at noon, and then JV volleyball at 1, and then varsity at 2. You will not want to miss that. If you enjoyed tonight's broadcast, then that will certainly be one to tune in for tomorrow. We'd like to thank, of course, the Hot Springs County School District and the Bighorn County School District for allowing us to bring this to you here. Of course, Hot Springs County School District has been, awesome. This just goes without saying, just letting us be up here and do this live for free here for all of y'all. It's a lot of y'all tuned in tonight. I'd like to thank our fans from Lovell as well for making the trip down. 2 hours, maybe one of the shortest trips in 2A for some of these guys, but definitely not a easy drive. That's for sure. With that being said, like we said, we will not be on the air next week. We will be actually up in Cali next week for volleyball in lieu or instead of the varsity game because Nate Dayton Field in Cokeville is just not big enough for 2 broadcast crews, so we'll just let the radio station do their thing as always. With that being said, we're going to sign us off here. Bridger Pyle is your player of the game here. And until next time, please drive home safe and do not pet the buffalo. The Bobcats upset the Bulldogs 21-12 here at LeRoy Hayes Field.